Okay, welcome everybody to our April edition of Super Scoops. We have a very special edition. We have our all-star staff with us here today. Starting right here, we have Julia Molitaire. She is our McKinley Avenue nurse, does a wonderful job, always there on the scene whenever there's an emergency, always there for parents. We couldn't, be a great school district without Julia Molitaire. Then we have Jen LaRussa over at PLC. She is our amazing art teacher that does amazing things. She has put that building together tremendously with all the new murals and all the wonderful things. And I know the students and staff love coming to her class every day. So we are so happy that, again, Jen LaRussa got Teacher of the Year. Okay, and I have Carrie McDowell. She's at Oxycocus. She's our amazing support staff member of the year. She works with our preschool students, does a great job with them. Our preschool students, this is their first time in the district. So again, she makes them feel comfortable, great rapport with the parents, and really does a great job, always a smile on her face. Okay, and we have Mary Ruiz, last but not least here, we're recognizing here today. She does an amazing job. She's one of our reading specialists and really works with our students and does amazing things, amazing job. All of our students and our staff really love Mary. She brings a lot to the table here with the district. She also has an extensive military background, which is very special, and we love, having Mary on board. So that being said, this is a great addition. We have our all-star team here, and they really do amazing things for the district. So that being said, I do have a few questions for everybody. I guess I'll start with Julia. What made you want to get into this field of education? Because I know you could be a nurse in the hospital, but you chose to be in the school district.
Yeah, so I've been a nurse just about 14 years. I did pediatric and labor and delivery up until I came to the school district. So emergency room and, yes, labor and delivery. So I just have always worked with children, loved working with the families too. You don't just have one patient, you have two. You have, the parents and the children. And you have to have relationships with both. And I feel like I'm able to do that here, my best, and I'm loving it.
That's simply amazing. Yeah, and you do an awful lot. You are always buzzing and going, and the radio's ringing, and the phones are ringing. You don't get a break. So thank you for all that you do. And now we have Jen LaRussa. What does it mean to you, knowing that the parents, the staff, they actually chose you and nominated you?
It's really kind of humbling. Like I think about being in special area as like a supporting role. So I take it, I'm like the crazy aunt. I take the kids and I play with them and we do the fun stuff and I support, the literacy and the math and all through art, and then I send them back to the classroom. So to get picked out and singled out was really a surprise for me.
No, and it's great. I know you're very humble, but you really do amazing things. And wherever I go in all the buildings, they always say how amazing you are and all the great things you do. So you've been really great. Okay, now I want to talk to Carrie McDowell here, and with it, I know she could do anything and could have done anything, but what made you want to get involved in education?
So I actually worked in an office prior to coming here,
Cool.
And then I worked at the lunch program here at Intermediate and was with the kids all day and just loved it. And then somebody told me that there was an opening for an aide, and I should go for it, and I did, and I ended up in Oxy, and I love being with the little kids.
That's great, and it does shine. Again, you're very positive and smile, and that means a lot. That positive, bright smile. Well, especially when you have preschool kids coming in. They're so little, and they just arrive.
They're so fun.
And they're fun, and you greet them always with a smile. So thank you for all that you do.
Thanks.
And then we have Mary Ruiz here as well, our reading specialist here at Intermediate School. Now, you have a very interesting background. Again, I know I said military. What made you get into education? Because we know a lot of military people, they become police officers or do certain things. So what made you kind of pick and go into education?
So around 7 years into the military, I was assigned to teach combatives, which is like hand-to-hand combat. So essentially like showing kids how to walk with scissors the right way, like as in our class. Yeah. So I worked with a variety of adults, and I noticed that they use different learning styles. Some are auditory learners, they like to listen and then execute a task. Others could just watch you and then mimic exactly what you were doing. Others would do role playing where they would set two people up in a position and they would walk the two role models through the actual motion. So at that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was thinking about being a police officer or a corrections officer because there was a lot of direction. And one of my friends was like, you'd be a really good teacher. You do a great job of teaching these skills. So I started taking classes my 8th year in the military, and then somewhere along the line I started subbing here as a PE teacher, which kind of quickly translated into working with special education students. I really enjoyed their abilities, even though it was sometimes more difficult for them to grasp a task. And through working in the resource room with gen ed students and plot replacement students, I decided to go get my master's in education, and I became a reading specialist. So all along the way, I still get to incorporate veteran education into my daily lessons, which is something I really enjoy, and then getting kids involved with fitness, which I feel is important. Because maybe they're not the greatest reader, but if you could do a push-up, then hey, doesn't matter how you get that push-up done, you're gonna get up. And we have a great nurse who can help them out in case they end up eating some dirt.
Right, I like that. No, that's great. And you do a great thing, and I know we have Support the Troops coming up in May over at Ocean Acres, and Mary does a lot.
That's
And
my favorite.
all of our staff here, I know very humble people here in front of us, they don't want to do this, but I felt like it was very important to highlight our wonderful staff, because I do really truly believe that Stafford's only as good as our staff, and you as staff members here, you make it to what it is, which is why it's such a great place. And will always be, because of you guys are here, and you do a real amazing things with the children every day that we see. You go above and beyond, you go to PTO events, you add so much of your livelihood and talent, because you do, each one of you have a different talent. You really bring that to life, in school and what you do in your little niche. So thank you, amazing people. So there are a few staff members that unfortunately cannot be here for the Super Scoops episode because of their schedule. However, I do want to recognize Eric McKinley. He is our bus mechanic down at our garage who does a wonderful job keeping our buses on the road. He has a great rapport with the staff and with the students, and our buses could not run without Eric. So Eric, thank you for being Support Staff Member of the Year. We greatly appreciate your services. Also at intermediate school, Diane Corrigan has been in our district for 23 years. She got Support Staff Member of the Year, as well as she's retiring. So Diane, thank you for greeting our students each morning with a smile. And at the end of the day, you really treat the students as if they were one of your own, and you're really gonna be missed. So thank you, Diane Corrigan. Ann Riley, she's been a dynamic elementary school teacher at Ocean Acres for first and second grade for the past 26 years. And you're simply amazing. I know you're very humble and don't want to be recognized, but you have impacted so many lives over the years. I can't thank you enough, and I know you have done so much for your students and this community. Thank you, Ann, and best of luck on your retirement. And finally, Chris Schmidt has been in our district for 25 years and has served in so many different capacities as our SAC coordinator, our guidance counselor, our social emotional learning instructor. So Christine Schmidt, thank you again for being so humble. I know you don't want to be recognized either, but you've done so many amazing things for this district, especially during COVID, all that social emotional learning, and all those things you do with our children, and over the years have built that social emotional component for everyone. I can't thank you enough. So good luck to you on your retirement. Those are our remaining staff members of our Support Staff Members of the Year, as well as Teacher of the Years. Again, thank you for all that you guys do.
It's my honor to recognize Ms. Jen Horner. Mrs. Horner's energy is infectious. It amazes me how much enthusiasm she has on a daily basis. Mrs. Horner teaches the enrichment program every morning. And even though it's bright and early, you could hear her fluttering down the hallway with excitement as she picks up her students, and this carries on throughout the day. Her willingness to go above and beyond in all areas is evident to the students, staff, and parents. In talking with her students, they are so excited because she plays with them on the playground, and she's very funny. They are also happy when she chooses the frog prince and princesses. Congratulations, Mrs. Horner, Oxycocos Teacher of the Year. Come on up. Oxycocos' Support Staff Member of the Year is Ms. Carrie McDowell. Ms. Carrie is an asset to Room 11 and throughout Oxycocos. She is typically willing to help out in other classes by picking up shifts and keeping Oxycocos running. This allows her to know many students throughout the school. As she walks through the school, so many of the students in the other class gravitate to her and ask her when she'll be back in their class to help out. Miss Carrie always brings the party. Often at the buses in the mornings, she'll play music to get the students started on the right foot, and this comes with some dancing. So congratulations, Carrie, and come on, dance your way on to the stage. Okay, we have 3 retirees. 2 of our retirees are teacher assistants, Cindy Lorena and Jane Giordano could not be here tonight, but we do recognize them and thank them for their service. We have 1 certified staff member that is retiring or has retired from Oxycocos, and that's Mrs. Dubois. Her career in the classroom spanned a total of 26 years, 8 years within the foundation and another 10 in the district preschool program. Few teachers show such compassion for their students as Mrs. Dubois. It would start early in the morning as the students enter the building. She would greet them at their level, and she would get down on her knees to give them a hug as they entered her classroom. She cared so deeply about her students, so much so that you would often hear her state she just wishes she could take them home with her. Therefore, by my account, she should have about 100 kids or so from my time with her living in her house. Her caring efforts efforts still resonate with her previous little ducks. Students still remember her prize box and the little things she did for them on a daily basis, or the greater efforts she did during the COVID shutdown by making special trips to the students' houses and waving to them from afar. Her parents, her former parents, in talking to them, they truly felt that Mrs. Dubois treated their children as if they were her own. And she even has taught some students that have grandparents that said that those former students that she is a perfect combination of kindness, humor, and professionalism. We wish you all the well in your future endeavors, and I will always keep in your mind if something part-time comes up. Congratulations, and come on up, Mr. Dubois.
Jen LaRussa is the Teacher of the Year at the PLC this year. She's unable to be here tonight, but we are very lucky to have her as the PLC Teacher of the Year. She has done and continues to do amazing things for our students and staff. So we'd like to give her a round of applause. Yvette has been a valued member of the Stafford Township School District for over 20 years. Yvette has raised 3 children who have gone through Stafford, and I have taught each and every one of them. She is known to all for her nurturing and upbeat personality. Yvette loves to laugh and have fun. She is committed to help both students and colleagues. She is always lifting students up and guiding them to see all that she can see in them. Yvette encourages everyone to try things, even if it may be out of their comfort zone. If Yvette sees something that needs to be done, she takes care of it without being asked. She is kind, compassionate, and patient with all students and staff. Yvette has worked in many schools in our district and is flexible and reliable. We greatly appreciate all that she does for us every day and for everyone. It would not be a village without Yvette, so we take this time to thank you. Our retirees. This year we have 2. Our first is Mrs. Falk. Mrs. Falk has been in Stafford for over 17 years. She has been at Oxy, Ocean Acres, and the PLC. Prior to Stafford, Doreen has worked as a registered nurse with her BSN for 39 years. I have had the privilege to work with Doreen over the past 17 years and closely for the last 3. Doreen collaborates endlessly with staff, parents, and other health team members to plan and provide nursing care that will achieve optimal health and wellness for all stakeholders. Doreen is committed to her profession and will be missed daily at the PLC. We wish you all the best in your retirement. And our other retiree is Mary Tamburo. Mary has been in our district for 19 years. Before joining Stafford, Mary was at home raising her 3 children. All 3 of Mary's children attended Stafford. Mary originally was a substitute teacher at Oxycocos School with the preschool program, 2 years later at OA, and for the past 15 years at the PLC. Mary has worked with many of the teachers in the building as their instructional assistant. Mary has always been able and willing to do any task asked of her. She has embraced our ELL student population and works in small groups with them daily. Mary has even taken the time outside of school to visit their students at their homes and at their games. Mary will be missed at the PLC, but we know she is on to bigger adventures, especially watching her grandchildren.
All right, the Ocean Acres Teacher of the Year this year is Jennifer Nadeau. Jen has been teaching in Stafford for over 20 years, and this is her 11th year at Ocean Acres. She currently teaches 2nd grade, having come from 1st first grade, having come from second grade last year. See, I've got it all mixed up. She is a well-sought-out teacher who continually inspires her students to succeed. Jen is willing to do anything for her students. She provides a structured and supportive, caring learning environment where her students thrive. The thing that she loves most about her job is seeing students grow to be confident readers by the end of first grade, and we love watching her do it. Congratulations, Mrs. Nadeau. The Ocean Acres Support Staff Member of the Year is Laura Attardi. Laura has been in the district since 2000. She's been a first grade teacher assistant for the past 17 years, working in both Oxycocos and now the Ocean Acres schools. She is an asset to the district and always willing to go above and beyond for the children. When asked what she loves most about her job, she said, "The children, of course," which definitely sums up why Mrs. Attardi is the Ocean Acres Support Staff Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Mrs. Attardi. Ocean Acres has two teachers retiring this year. The first is Ann Riley, and unfortunately, Mrs. Riley could not be with us tonight. But I would like to thank her for over 25 years of dedication to the Stafford School District. Mrs. Riley will be greatly missed at the Ocean Acres School, not only by her colleagues, but also by her students. So congratulations, Mrs. Ann Riley, on your retirement. The second retiree from Ocean Acres is Christine Schmidt. Chris Schmidt has been dedicated to over 26 years to the Stafford Township School District. She has influenced the students of Ocean Acres for the past 10 years. The strategies she has taught the students as the social emotional learning and mindfulness teacher will be utilized long after she retires. In that position, she encourages all of the students to be the best versions of themselves through her SEL practices. Prior to teaching SEL, Mrs. Schmidt was the homeschool liaison where she worked closely with district families. Chris loves working with so many students and families of Stafford and how administration is always open to the ideas that benefit the students the most. Ms. Schmidt will leave big shoes to fill. Her inspirational demeanor will definitely be missed by everyone at the Ocean Acres School. Congratulations, Chris, on your retirement.
I would like to recognize McKinley's Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Julie Buck. Mrs. Buck is a fourth grade teacher whose highest priority as an educator is serving the needs of her students. She is one of the most caring and understanding individuals. Julie has a gift of figuring out a way to reach even the most challenging students, all while keeping a smile on her face. Mrs. Buck has strong academic expectations and shows her students every day that she believes they can succeed. Mrs. Buck, thank you for all that you do, and congratulations on your well-deserved award. I would like to now recognize McKinley's Support Staff Member of the Year, who unfortunately was unable to attend, but would still like to acknowledge Colleen Ficken, who is a cafeteria playground assistant as well as an extended day staff member. Colleen is one of the most humble individuals who gives 100% every day. We cannot underestimate the importance of our support staff, as Colleen is truly one of the best. Next, I would like to recognize our school district's Educational Services Professional of the Year, Mrs. Julia Molitieri. Unfortunately, Mrs. Molitieri was also unable to attend this evening, but I would like to acknowledge her hard work and efforts. Mrs. Molitieri has been McKinley's school nurse for the past 5 years. She exemplifies the Stafford Township School District's vision of making children first and is a leader amongst the school nurse staff. She is well respected by her coworkers, and the students see her as a source of support and a school person they can confide in. Mrs. Molitieri, thank you for creating a comfortable and nurturing environment and for everything that you do for our district. Congratulations also on your award. Last, McKinley has 5 retirees. Our first retiree that I have the honor to recognize from McKinley is Mrs. Susan Madara. Mrs. Madara was employed by the Stafford School District for the past 25 years as a resource teacher. Even though our time together was short, you have touched my heart just as I know you have with everyone you have come in contact with around you. Up until your very last day, your dedication, passion, and positive energy was still there. You truly loved your students, and they loved you, which was evident through watching them in your presence. You took the time to assure that your students would be well taken care of as you transitioned into retirement, which speaks volumes of your character. You even missed us so much that you came back only a few weeks later as a guest reader for Read Across America. So thank you for all that you did for McKinley. We surely miss seeing your smiling face, but we are happy that you are enjoying your retirement and making memories with your family. Our next retiree that I would like to recognize is Mrs. Leah Badamarco. Leah has also served in the Stafford School District as a teacher assistant for the past 25 years. I would describe Leah as quiet and extremely calm. She definitely does not like to be the center of attention and can take a little bit of convincing to persuade that it's okay to be given well-needed attention sometimes. She has supported some of our most demanding learners while maintaining such ease. Lee, thank you for your dedication to our school district. You will be missed, but we hope you get to spend more well-deserved time with your family as well. The third retiree that I will be recognizing is Mrs. Linda Todd. Linda Todd was a child study team secretary for the past 26 years in our school district. In speaking with her team, Linda wasn't just their secretary. She was the glue that held the team together. She was the behind-the-scenes kind of person, with not many realizing how much she truly did for staff and students. She was well known as Miss Fix-It to the child study team, and even when faced with her own personal challenges, her level of dedication and devotion to the team, parents, and children was uncompromising. Linda, thank you for all that you did for the Stafford School District. We wish you well on your retirement. The fourth retiree that I will be recognizing is Mrs. Susie Loda, who has served our school district for the past 26 years as a teacher assistant. I remember when Susie came to me this year about retiring mid-year, and then came to me shortly after that to say that she had second thoughts and decided that she would like to stay the full year after making several connections with students and couldn't leave them just yet. Again, this speaks to the dedication that our staff have for their students. And thank you, Susie, for all that you have done, and best wishes on your retirement. Our last retiree at McKinley that I'll be recognizing but was unable to attend tonight is Mrs. Linda Mahoney. Mrs. Mahoney is also a teacher assistant who served our school district for 21 years. She loves and cares for her students, which is apparent in observing her interactions with the students. She has a funny and vibrant personality. Her sense of humor and smile will be missed. We wish you all the best on your retirement, Linda.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome all the retirees and say congratulations to you all. I'm very envious of all you. And to the all award winners, just a great group of educators up here this evening. Our Teacher of the Year this year is Mary Ruiz. Mary has been in the district for 6 years. She worked as an in-class support teacher, a pull-out resource teacher, and in the last 18 months as a reading specialist. Her performance in the classroom is outstanding, but her performance as a reading specialist is really where she's become a superstar. Mary is also a former U.S. Army veteran, and she has used that training and discipline to become a quintessential educator. She's hardworking, she pays attention to detail, she's demanding of her students, yet cares immensely about their success. There's a universal respect throughout the building as everyone recognizes how strong she is in her current position. Mary also volunteers in the building to come into classrooms and gives demo lessons to staff so they have a better understanding of how to teach lessons that she supports. She also volunteers outside of the classroom and is involved with a lot of initiatives that support veterans. She is passionate about the education of our students in the classroom and supporting our veterans within the community. Mary is someone that any school administrator would be proud to call one of ours. I am so proud to present Intermediate's Teacher of the Year, Mary Ruiz. Our support staff person of the year is Diane Corrigan. Diane's been working at Stafford for 23 years. Most recently, she has worked as a one-to-one aide in our self-contained class. She shadows her student all day long, and simply put, Diane Corrigan is an angel on earth. She quietly goes about her job, does what is expected of her, never complains, never offers opinions. She just makes sure that her student is taken care of and grows every day. She truly cares about her student as if she is her own child. it should be noted too, she gets along very well with everybody else, all the kids in the classroom and all the other adults, but her student is the one she is honed in on. My biggest pleasure is watching our one-to-one aides develop relationships with their students and watch over them and truly love them. Diane does this and more. There are only a few people that could get a unanimous vote on winning this award, and Diane is one of them. She is the textbook definition of what a one-to-one should do, a one-to-one aide should do every day. I know the entire group in Mrs. Rowland's class will be missing her next year, and certainly us in the main office and staff and students will miss her too. Miss Diane Corrigan. It should be noted, Diane is also one of our retirees this year, so congratulations. Very well deserved. Our 3 certified staff members that are retiring were unable to make it tonight. They had prior commitments. Their name, that is Natalie Finley, Nancy Koch, and Trish Rosinski. Among the 3 of them, they had just about 75 years of combined experience, and we truly miss all of them. I was texting with a couple of them earlier today, and we truly miss all of them. They wish everyone well, and wanted to say congratulations to all the winners tonight. So congratulations to them.
And last but not least, our support staff person of the year in transportation goes to Eric McKinley. His start as a mechanic, he has worked tirelessly and meticulously to maintain our district vehicles. Today, Mr. McKinley is the garage foreman and takes pride in keeping the buses running without interruption winter, spring, summer, and fall. Eric is a team player. He has many times come from under the hood to behind the wheel. It comes down to a bus having to double back due to driver shortages or Eric driving the run. Eric puts the needs of district's children and parents first. He is deserving of this year's award from the Transportation Department. We as a district are looking forward to many more years working hand in hand with Eric. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do. We couldn't do it without your dedication and expertise. Our bus driver retiree this year is Mr. Peter Manoni. He has been a district bus driver for 11 years. Pete is a quiet man who prefers to stay out of the spotlight. Pete comes to work every day and runs his route like clockwork. Pete is well liked by his fellow drivers and attendants. He loves driving a bus, the children he transports, and the parents he interacts with at every stop. Mr. Minoni will be missed as he spends more time with his family. We thank him for his many years of service and wish him the best in retirement.
So I'm here tonight to honor Beth Huck, who has served in the district since 2007 as a confidential secretary in central administration. Beth has been a secretary in human resources and has eloquently handled important tasks. And I'm going to list them because I don't think people know what Beth actually does all day long. But she's in charge of all our substitute staffing, all our transfers and reassignments, all our workman's compensation paperwork, all our employee health benefits, maintaining and filing employee records, helping schedule interviews, and then, of course, maintaining our employee evaluations. And those are just some of the things that Beth has to do. I think her most difficult task is probably working with me this last year and a half, ensuring, obviously, that my calendar is intact with all the things that we've been up to. Again, prior to working with me, Beth has worked with Barbara DePuzzo, who retired last year, and Barbara became a dear friend to Beth, and I actually reached out to Barbara, and she sends her regards from Florida, and she does look forward to getting together with you later this year to really celebrate your retirement. And I also really want to say there's a lot of gratitude for Beth to stay with me for that year and a half. She could have walked out with Barbara, but she chose to help me transition to the Human Resources Department, so a lot of gratitude for Beth. Well, for the last 15 years to present, every new employee in the district has talked, met, and emailed Beth due to her involvement in HR. She's been part of the interviews, the trainings, and the onboarding process for all of our employees. And that was countless interactions throughout the years. Now, obviously in HR, sometimes we're the bearer of bad news. And if you ever needed someone to keep your gate and stand guard, Beth was perfect for that role. Saying no came very natural to Beth. Even today, she said no to ordering me paper for next year. It's a true story. I can joke with Beth because she has a great sense of humor. She also has a wonderful memory, and she would be able to tell me the who, what, and why of many of our HR policies and procedures. Trish, who's also here, Trish Dover, who's her partner in crime and our HR coordinator, shared that she's also going to, miss her wealth of knowledge. Trish sees Beth as a sister, obviously as a partner in crime, and through the years, they've worked together for 15 years, and they've literally shared their lives together, the highs and the lows, and mostly highs. And again, talking with Trish, we still have some time with Beth, but we do realize that she's an intricate part of HR, and it's going to be an extremely big gap for us to fill. We will also miss her competitive nature when it comes to our annual Christmas trivia contest. That's everyone in central office. We'll miss that, as well as her the Pollyanna gift exchange, which is also very competitive. Beth did not like losing, so we made sure that she won. Beth helped organize our March Madness tournament. If you look at her family, you can see they're big basketball fans, and she obviously helped us organize that and keep that going for the last few years. Now, I know Beth is here tonight with her husband, Chris, and her sons, Paul and Chris. And Beth is an extremely proud mom of her 2 boys and also a proud grandmother of her 3 grandsons, Mason, Ethan, and Aaron. I wish Beth the best of luck as she spends time with her family, sitting at the beach, reading a good book, and hopefully no longer having to say no. Come on up, Beth.
I always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye, but yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save. Up ahead, only open doors. Who knows what we're heading towards? I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up. But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Every day that we had, all the good, all the bad, I'll keep them here inside. All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life. Yeah, one day we'll look back, we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we just cry. 'Cause it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You could beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. 'Cause you burn with the brush flame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. And you're ever gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. 'Cause you burn with the brush flame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. Be a champion. On the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause you burn with the brush flame. And the world's gonna know your name.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say thank you for being a friend. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say thank you for being a friend.
There you go.
That's
That's
cute.